Hi guys, and welcome to the Rotherham vs Sunderland match review in what was a very, very frustrating game, and it was just all the glaring issues that we've seen throughout the season so far that just come to the surface again. And it was, whenever we seem to take one step forward, it's 5 steps back, and that's exactly what we saw this evening against Rotherham. With no disrespect to Rotherham, you'd expect us to get a result. Of course, it's not all about what you see on paper, but on paper you would expect us to get the 3 points there. They're bottom of the league. They're not looking they're not looking like they're going to be picking up momentum anytime soon, really, Rotherham, if you look at previous weeks' performances. But we go there, and at times we made it very easy for them. Getting into the game, starting, we had an unchanged side from last time out, apart from Bradley Dhannoo, of course, did get injured last time out, and Alejandro did start the game. Again, we start with no striker, and getting into it, opening sort of 15, 20 minutes, it was just same old, control the play. They were quite happy to sit back, watch us play with the ball, and we do absolutely fuck all with it. It was just a lot of fanning around the edge of the box, nothing really happening. I think Dhannoo had a strike from the edge of the box that went wide. Clarke had a shot from the edge of the box that went wide. And that was our entirety of the first half in terms of chances. But like I say, we did control the opening we controlled the opening sort of 20 minutes or so. And they were quite happy to see us keep hold of the ball. They would only really press once we entered their half. They played really well in that sense. But what happened was we had this sort of flurry of Rotherham chances, and they were better chances than ours. I absolutely give credit to them. They made the better of the chances in that first half, because after about 20 minutes or so, I think we made one mistake. Job in the middle, he gave the ball away cheaply, and they went one-on-one with the keeper, and then Patterson had to come out and make an outstanding save, make himself big, great save, and that really, they had the tails up then, fans behind them, and they just had this confidence that shot from nowhere, because they thought, oh shit, we can actually make chances against the Sunderland side. And, from that following corner, the header was put in, which was looping Patterson. He had to tip it over the bar, and then they had a chance literally just a minute or two later. They've worked it to the edge of the box, and it's an absolute blistering effort. It looks like it's destined for that bottom corner. Again, absolute worldie of a save from Patterson to keep it at 0-0. But yeah, so that was literally the first half in a nutshell. That's when they started to get their confidence up. Eventually we did sort of regain control of it again, but making absolutely nothing with it. It was literally, as I've said, and I'm boring myself with these reviews, get the ball over to Jacques Clarke and see what happens. That's all it was. We had absolutely nothing else. Alejandro wasn't showing anything. Job in the middle for me, he looked exhausted. A handful of times where he is a young lad and he's played a stupid amount of minutes. But, there was a couple of times where he lose the ball, and then rather than, Buster got to get back, you could see it in like replays and stuff. He's knackered, and he's sort of half-heartedly jogging back after losing the ball. He looks absolutely fucked, that lad. We're running him into the ground. I don't want to see him get ruined. But he looked absolutely exhausted. Half-time comes, and we bring on Mason Burstow, a striker who... What's mad is that we bring on Burstow, a striker, then the second half we make so many more chances. We have so many more shots, yet not one of them include Mason Burstow, nor do I think he touched the ball twice. Something like that. So it's mental. It's just weird how we're working at the minute. But in that second half, of course, straight away, almost immediately in that first half, they get themselves, I believe it was a corner, they put the ball into the box. Ekwa's header was a poor one. He's headed it centrally to the edge of the box, and it falls to Clucas. You've got to give it to him. No keeper's saving it. It's a brilliant volley that beats Patterson to make it 1-0. So I'm thinking to myself, for the opening 45 minutes against bottom of the league, we've had 2 shots, neither of which tested the keeper. Now Rotherham have something to hold on to. We've gifted them something to hold on to. It's only going to get fucking worse from here, innit? But we keep plodding along. We keep giving the ball to Jacques Clarke, which... It don't come to anything, because when we only have that one outlet of Jacques Clarke, all they need to do is double up on him or triple up on him, and there's only so much Jacques Clarke can do, as magic as the lad can be, just by himself. We need to give them something else to think about, because their centre-backs are having a piss-easy time of it, absolutely piss-easy time of it, because we're not giving them anything else to think about. It's not like we're putting balls in the box. It's not like we've got a striker that's making runs in behind. No one's getting at them, asking questions and making the defenders commit. It's just get the ball to Jacques Clarke. And now what's frustrating is when I see players give the ball to Jacques Clarke and then stand still. Just go on, he'll do something with it. It's just absolutely appalling. But then we did make a couple of changes. Seal, who was at right back again, was replaced by Pembele. We haven't seen him so far this season. He did come on. He did okay, for the sort of cameo that he did have. I've been told in bits and pieces I've seen he's supposed to be this sort of defender that just goes galloping on the overlap. I didn't really see that too much. It would just sort of give the easy ball. Even if he was sort of one-on-one up against their left back at times, it would kind of be the easy passing go backwards, which I know I'm not going to dig too much into him, but it didn't really change too much on that side. He did put a couple of balls in, but didn't really change too much. I just wanted to put that out there. Pritchard, now, this is the thing for me. It is so blatantly obvious. Well, firstly, it's blatantly obvious we need a striker that's going to do something, but Pritchard makes this side infinitely more dangerous. How that lad is not starting is beyond me. I know he's had his fitness issues, and I know there's massive rumours that the club are trying to, ship him out, but he is arguably, in fact, I'm not even arguing about it, he is, other than Jack Clarke, our most dangerous attacking threat. Hands down. When we look stale, he is someone who will try and be so direct. He's so positive when he picks a ball up in that final third. It was relentlessly whipping balls in behind the defence, whipping balls, dangerous balls in behind and asking questions of their back line, which we hadn't done all game. Actually asking questions of them on what happens from one of the first crosses he puts in. They knock it away because we've given them something to do. We're giving them some work to do. They've knocked it down only as far as Jack Clarke, who pings a volley. It takes a wicked deflection off the Rotherham defender, but it balloons over the keeper and into the top corner to make it 1-1. But we looked infinitely more dangerous. Pritchard's constantly trying to find the ball in behind the defender or trying to whip the ball in behind the back line. He was doing it time and time again. His deliveries are so dangerous, and he's doing it time and time again. Every time he gets the ball, run at them, and that's what he's doing rather than just sideways pass it, slowly make it easy, play all the possession in front of the Rotherham player, their team, play it in front of them, all easy to watch, all easy to defend, and then just shift it over to Jack Clarke and see what happens. As soon as they have another player to worry about, because they had fuck all to worry about, the other 10 players, other than Jack Clarke, all day long, nothing. They had nothing to worry about. So they bring on Pritchard and they think, oh shit, now we don't only need to think about him, we need to think about him and all, because he's doing shit now. He's actually working us here. So it gives Clarke more time on that side, because he's not shifting players over to Pritchard, and that's exactly what we saw. And then it was just 10 minutes at the end of us throwing the absolute kitchen sink at it. Few dodgy moments in the box, so many clear chances where, again, Clarke could get the ball to the edge, to the byline, he'd try and ping it back across goal, and half the time it was hitting the first man, and then it was going out for a corner. Corners come in, scrambles, all the lot, but again, it ends 1-1 against bottom of the league. Again, fair play to Rotherham, fair play to him, and that's not me being patronising or being sour, because they had a game plan and they looked more dangerous, particularly in that first half. They created the better of their chances, so fair play to them, all the best to them. But for us, that's a really shit standard. That first half was embarrassing, so bad, and the second half weren't much better until we brought Pritchard on. This reliance on Jack Clarke is awful. And I would also forget to mention, after 10 minutes, Roberts, he picks up an injury and he was replaced by Abdullah Bar, who, to be fair to him, I was slating him online because I don't think he's very good. I just don't. There's just little bits and pieces here and there. He'll just do a couple of step overs and drift inside a man, and I'm like, oh, there's a player in there. But then he'll have a string of games where we won't see anything. He'll lose the ball every time he gets it. He plays the easy pass and doesn't try and work a man or anything like that, and he's just very easy to predict and loses the ball consistently. And I think, why are we sticking with this lad? So he's just a difficult one, because there were a couple of times towards the back end where he would thread through a nice pass. And there's one little nice pass where he just lifted the ball over the defender to try and find Job. And Job, really, if he got a good connection with it, he could have put it across goal and it would have been 2-1 last minute. But he's kind of scuffed the ball across goal, Job, and they managed to get it away for a corner. But yeah, so Roberts, we don't know how long he's out for. He was limping. I think he was tracking back. He was covering it right back for a moment, and he went to sort of volley the ball away to clear it away on the volley with his weaker right foot. And with his standing left foot, he just seems to have jolted a little bit. I don't know what's happened there, but he couldn't continue. He didn't look like he was limping too much, but he's obviously in enough discomfort to have to leave the field of play. But 1-1, and the January transfer window's coming. Well, we need something. And he just said, the amount of managers we've had, and we're just refusing to. We'll say the amount of managers, not loads, but the managers that have been around. With these 4 strikers we've got, and we're not using them. And what's mad, I think, Burstow, he hasn't even been getting little substitute appearances. Nothing. He hasn't been getting any seconds anywhere. And yet you were chucking him in at half time at this point. It's just weird for me. Something just doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit right. I don't know whether that was him almost saying his goodbye because he hasn't been good enough. I think that might be the last time we see him in the Sunderland shirt. It won't surprise me if we do send him back to where he came from and then we bring someone else in. None of the other strikers are getting a look in. I think like Mayende, it looks very raw, but I have quite liked the look of him. Rusin, he only had that little string of games of only like 3 or 4 games, whatever it was. He looked like a little bit of a handful, but that's about it. We need something different. And again, I'm a broken record at the moment, but we absolutely need something different. And we do need a bit of experience in there as well. But 1-1, absolutely not good enough. And I didn't see, and I still haven't. And I'm not going to straight away write off Beal, but I'm still not seeing I'm not seeing a massive change or like a shift in a system or anything like that. I'm not seeing any kind of change where I think, okay, right, maybe he's doing this differently tomorrow, but I'm not seeing anything other than the same old, give it to Clarke and see what happens. It'd be interesting to see what happens in January. And we know what's coming up early Jan as well, so I hope we book our ideas up, otherwise it's going to be a fucking embarrassing Wear-Tyne derby. But either way, that is it. Let's try and stay somewhat positive. We didn't lose, which is somewhat, bottom of the league, we didn't lose. Great. But yeah, that'll be that, guys, and that will be the final video of the year. Thank you so much for supporting the channel throughout 2023. I wish you all the best. Happy New Year. But if you have enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well. But for now, take care. Happy New Year and stay jammy.